All right. Okay. Welcome again. My name is Alex. This is MCC. Let's talk. We have Ryan over here.
Hi there. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Ryan, what are you doing in school again?
Right now, I'm in Video and Audio Communications program. I am currently trying to become a music producer or like a director, writer, something like that. I really want to work in the industry in either music or film.
So you're concentrating more on audio over video?
Yes,
right?
I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking it so far?
Right now, audio is just a really interesting subject to me. Working with the equipment, working with sound, music, it's just really interesting. Ever since I was a kid, it's always been something I was interested in. So actually getting to learn it and improve on it is just really exciting for me.
So what you're telling me right now is that here at MCC, you get to actually play with all this equipment, have hands-on type of thing.
Exactly, yeah. It's really fun because whenever I go into audio, the instructor lets us set up the mics and stuff ourselves, and it's really interesting to do that.
We had a couple classes
Mm-hmm.
just together already.
Exactly.
You know what's really interesting about you is you know a lot about music.
I do.
You, especially 90s. Like I feel like that's your cup of tea, and like just life in general. You have a lot of 90s references in music.
Well, I mean, some of the earlier musics that I listened to came from the 90s. Like I used to be really into Nirvana, Pearl Jam, stuff like that. Even like 90s techno, like Moby, stuff like that.
So you like the song Blue? Is that what?
Yeah, I do like Blue.
Blue. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to MCC. You get to play with all this equipment and stuff, and I know recently, summer or spring. When was it that you went to Skills USA?
It was actually kind of both of that. Spring, that was a state, and we won first place. And then we went to nationals in Atlanta during the summer. And there I worked with my buddy Connor on a project, and we got fifth place in total.
So what was it that you won first place in the first one?
It was audio, and our project had to be about... Crap, what did our project have to be about? Oh, yeah, it had to be about a local company in our area.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually, that was a fun. You did like a beer company, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a beer company, and I interviewed Lori Dilly, who was the sales director for that company.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Did you taste the beer?
No, unfortunately, I could not taste the beer.
Then you went to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, for
Mm-hmm.
Skills USA, and
Yes.
you got fifth place. How was that?
Skills USA was a pretty interesting experience. There was just a lot more people. I will say that being my first time being there, I did feel a little bit under leveled, I would say, compared to everyone else. Because first day we get there, we're sitting in the hall that we're doing our competition on, and I have my laptop, I have a mic, a Scarlett. And then, like, people, like, a few rows next to me had, like, suitcases full of equipment, like monitors, whole computer sets, stuff like that. And it's like,
Okay.
all right.
Now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Yeah.
Well, this is the cool part about, like, right here, this college. Like, you get to experience stuff like that,
Yes.
actually compete with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good way for you to network with other people as well. Because
It
I'm
is.
guessing you met a lot of interested people that are probably into the same thing as you,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, I met a lot of pretty interesting people down there. Most of it was because while we were down there, we had, like, pins for, like, each state that we could trade with other people with.
Really?
Yeah, so while doing the trade, I got to meet a lot of cool people who are doing, like, a bunch of other stuff in different programs. So it was
Yeah.
really nice to have that kind of community.
Yeah, exactly. And it's and it starts here, I guess. At
Exactly,
community
yeah.
college. I mean, it's literally in the word community.
Exactly.
But yeah, and then you have your friend Connor here. Is he doing the same thing here as you?
Yes, but he's more into the film type. Like, he
Okay.
wants to be a director.
Yeah. So I mean, there's something there between you guys so you can work together in the future as well. But
Exactly. Yeah.
you're also meeting a lot of interesting people here as well that are
Mhm.
into the same thing as you, right? That you probably get together and work together and stuff like that.
It is, yeah. And I've worked with a couple of my classmates, and a lot of them are like very passionate about what they do, and it's really nice to see that. Because I've also been very passionate about this kind of stuff ever since I was little, and so being surrounded by these group of people has really it's really felt good having that sense of community once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings that out of you, right?
It
Like
does,
it
yeah.
feels like okay, there's a lot more to this, and
Mhm.
like it feels like I can share my passion with others because they have the same thing I do,
Yeah,
right?
no, yes.
Because like I mean, before that, I mean, I don't know what was it like in high school. 'Cause
Well, I mean, I was in band a lot, but a lot of the band kids were into different stuff than I was. I was a lot more into a lot more weirder stuff, like the stuff that makes you think. People in band typically just talked about band,
right,
so it was pretty hard to, talk about the same interests as we did. Because I was never really that into band. I liked being in band, but I could not see myself continuing it during college.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it really. Most kids here, actually, most people here, have a different way of thinking. It's not. I don't think there's a norm anymore.
Yeah, no.
There's no norm, and I really, because I'm a little bit older than you, and I really appreciate listening to you guys. Because it's so surprising to me that you guys know '90s music. And I grew up. I was born in the '80s, but I grew up listening to the '90s. Like Nirvana is one of my
Exactly, yeah.
favorite bands. Red Hot Chili Peppers. And you
Oh, I
guys,
love the Red Hot Chili
yeah,
Peppers.
you guys know that.
Yeah.
And then you listen to some of the stuff nowadays. So I'm like, I'm a little. I mean, everybody has their cup of tea, but it surprises me that you guys are into that. And like, I've seen some of your videos like where you just it's like what would its name be? But like you made like a kind of like a Clerks type of.
Oh yeah, it's like a parody type movie.
Yeah, and I was just like, holy God, these kids like, what? How do they know this stuff? Like, you honestly know more than I do.
Well, you see, a lot of it was because my mentality throughout my whole life is modern music is just not as good as it used to be.
Right.
Like I think, me personally, the '90s were a pretty good time in music because that's when everyone was just kind of experimenting with what they wanted to hear. Like if you listen to like all like the popular music throughout like the different years of the '90s, it's all completely different.
Right.
Like the earlier half was more grunge,
Yeah.
middle part was very popish, and towards the later end it was like
Techno.
yeah,
More techno. And more
yeah,
like-
a lot of pop punk.
Yeah.
Blink 182.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, I miss those days. You make me
Yeah.
feel old. That's my high school time, dude.
See, I was like born right after the '90s in like 2002.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of the experience from what was still left after the '90s.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of I think it was around middle school that I started expanding my horizon a bit more because I was just like, all right, this pop music right now is not doing it for me. And then that's when I found bands like AC/DC, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana,
Oh, man.
stuff like that.
You went back then.
Yeah.
AC/DC. Holy crap. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, are you sharing your love of music to anybody else? Like, I feel like you should start something like this says like.
One thing that I'm doing for my one of my classes that we had to make a vlog. So what I did is I did mine on a review of an album that I really like.
Really?
Mhm.
Of like a video, like what is it?
Yeah, it's like a video essay about an album that I really like. It's called MF Doom.
No.
He's one of the underground rappers from the early '90s, late '90s, early 2000s, and he has this album called Mad Villainy, which he collaborated with another producer called Madlib, and it's
Right.
really good. I recommend it a lot.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
You have to. It's heavenly, in my opinion.
How'd that vlog go?
The vlog, there's some things that I wish I could have done better. Like, for one, I did it completely off the hand, no script.
Right.
And, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like if you're going to talk about something like a review, you should have some form of, structure to it, and I definitely did not have that. I just kind of spoke my mind, spoke my opinions, which I still think is okay to do if you're talking about something you like. But
Right.
you should still have like some sort of structure to it, and I
Right.
didn't.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I feel like I'm more on the spot type of guy than
Yeah.
over like preparing on stuff like that. I feel like I'm more comfortable. Like, oh, okay,
Oh,
that's fun.
absolutely, I understand. Like there are people who are good at that. They're good at like speaking on the spot. I typically am not. I like to think of what I'm gonna say before I say it.
We have a lot of interesting thoughts, though. I
I
really
do.
appreciate that about you. All right, so now we have a class together right now,
Mhm.
video 2.
But you do. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. How's that going right now for you?
Right now, I'm really liking it so far. I've liked all the projects and little activities we've done so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you-
I like all my classmates a lot.
I liked your video you submitted with the John Wick. And
Oh,
you-
John Wick and the
and
Doom music.
The music. I'm like, yeah, that was so cool.
I was really like, what can I do? My first original thought to do was to do the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie and change the scene where Raleigh is dancing with his mom into like something different.
Right.
Hmm. I was thinking of doing like a Prince song.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been funny. But no, I was like, John Wick and Doom would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just fun. It was like really interesting to see. Like, oh man, that's actually pretty cool.
Did you ever notice like the little parts where it seemed like the choreography kind of matched with the
Yeah.
music? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like I did not mean for that to happen intentionally. That's
Yeah.
just how some of the scenes came out.
Yeah, especially like he's shooting randomly. It's like,
Yeah.
"Ding, ding, ding." I'm like, whoa, it actually matched. I thought you did that on purpose. That was like really cool.
Some things I tried to get it that way. Like there were some spots where it cuts to the villain, so I had to cut that out
Yeah.
to make room for it. But yeah, I did not plan that. It just kind of happened. It was awesome.
It was awesome. It was
Mhm.
awesome. What are your goals? Like, what are some of your goals that you want to accomplish in the next couple of years? Like after you graduate here. 'Cause
After I graduate. Well, one of the first things I want to do is get my own apartment. Like I really want to move out, have a roommate, just live on my own for a while.
because aren't you thinking about going to like university?
Yes, I am. I'm thinking of either going to UNL or UNO.
All right. So
Mhm.
you're gonna get your degree here, then.
Another 2 years at a 4-year college.
All right, that's cool,
Mhm.
and that's possible, right?
It is,
That's
yes.
another way of going. Because I mean, I think you're saving a lot of money that way,
Mhm.
taking all these gen ed classes, and then
Yeah.
plus this, and you have. I think you might have more experience with some of those kids are
Maybe,
in
yeah.
that degree. Don't quote me on that. I'm not. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I have no idea like how different the system is, but yeah, that's what I plan to do. I don't know about like moving into a dorm or not. I've had friends who've lived in the UNL dorms. They say it's pretty crazy there.
What do you mean by that?
Well, one story they told me is that someone literally stole the carpet
From
from those dorms. Yeah, they like ripped off a piece of the carpet from the dorms, and they just took it.
okay.
Yeah.
You got, all right. That's interesting.
It is interesting. That's what I was like. I was like, so they stole it?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. They
Like the whole floor, or
not
just
the whole floor. They like took a huge chunk of it and then just.
in the room or in a public area?
It was like in the hallway of the dorms.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Any hobbies? Do you have any hobbies right now?
Right now I'm just kind of playing video game, playing guitar in my free time.
You play guitar?
Yes, I do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been playing since. Crap, how long have I been playing for? I got the guitar somewhere around my teen years. I got a acoustic guitar. It was either 13 or 14, I think.
Do you have anything? Have you recorded anything?
I recorded something for my first audio class, and that's the only thing that I've recorded. But I really want to record more songs later in the future. I just need to get the equipment so I can do it at home.
You come here and do it.
I could come here and do it, but I always feel like that's. I feel like I would like it if I could, do it at my own place instead of having to come here and have to be like, hey, you mind if I use the studio real quick?
But I mean, it's how do I put it? I mean, I do it.
I know.
Right here, I'm doing this right now, and
Exactly.
and the instructors are pretty cool about it. Honestly, I think it's just your personality too. Like
Yeah, I'm a little too shy when
Yeah.
it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like just let it out and just doing it might help you
Mhm.
out.
I feel like it would.
Because you have a studio right across the street or the hallway where like
hallway, yeah.
you can just like you and Connor can just like start doing some recording there,
Hmm.
or even just yourself. I would like to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah. What kind of music do you like play? What kind of stuff are you into?
Honestly, I just play what I think sounds good. Like, if
Right.
I try to put a genre on the kind of music that I like, I would say the closest thing I could think of is like indie rock kind
Right.
of way. Like, that's the best thing that I can come up with. Because my music kind of, I don't know, I just make what I like to make.
Who are you listening to right now?
Well, right now there's MF Doom,
Right.
who I've been listening to for a project. Who else am I listening to right now? Hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the
No, it's
artists that I've listened to.
It's cool.
Yeah. I listened to Crumb.
Crumb.
They're like a psychedelic rock band.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Let's see, what else have I been listening to?
Psychedelic. What's that about? Like what's
Psychedelic, it's basically like music that's just supposed to make you feel like you're tripping.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Don't answer.
Uh,
Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer.
But basically, it's very, very vibey is how I would put it.
Right. Right.
Yes. What else did I listen to? There's Run the Jewels, which is a rap group.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just diverse in
Yeah,
your music.
I kind of don't have like a certain music genre that I like. If it
Right.
sounds good to me, I listen to it.
That's the way it should be, right?
Exactly.
I mean, why does everybody hate Nickelback?
I mean, I can kind of see. I don't know. I just never liked his voice or him in person in general.
They're not that bad, are they?
I mean, no.
You be
But,
honest.
Yeah, I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they're the kind of band that I would listen to.
Right.
Like, exactly. But I think a lot of it for me was that I just grew up hearing that Nickelback is bad, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, Nickelback's bad.
And so, no, I'm not gonna like it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Who do you suggest people should start listening to now? People your age, you know,
People my age.
people your age that says, you know, this is the kind of music you should try to listen to open your mind about everything. Because I'm not saying music is bad now. Maybe I am because of my age.
Mhm.
I am a little bit older, but I just feel like there's not enough of it where it's like, all right, it's more of an art.
Exactly.
Right now, it feels like force. It's just for money, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah. There's a lot of genres that I really like that I've discovered in the most recent years. Like, I've discovered acid jazz.
Acid jazz.
Yes, it's basically really fast-paced and really, like, wacky jazz that I really like. So I would recommend that. I would also recommend, like 90s progressive rap, like Underground, Fugees, what was the other one? There was an old group that MF Doom used to be in before he became MF Doom.
Okay.
It was like with his cousin and his friend who was a producer. They had like a little rap group in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. KMD, that's what it was called.
KMD.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, this guy knows a lot, like a lot of interesting music and stuff like that. Have you started your podcast yet?
Have I thought of a podcast? I
I
mean,
started it.
started one. No, I haven't.
Oh man, you should.
I really would like to start a podcast someday.
Yes,
Mhm.
talk about all the music genres that you know about, and just
Exactly, yeah.
just stories, because
Mhm.
it seems like you have a lot of interesting stories with your friends and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if Connor was here, he'd tell you about the interesting stuff that happened down in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, he had a couple of weird stories that happened to him.
That's all about the experience, though, of
It
college,
is.
right?
Yeah, it's all the experience.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's a lot of fun and listening to you. I think you're awesome. I think you're
Thank
gonna do
you.
amazing things in the future. Hopefully, you just being shy is not bad, but I feel like there's a lot of you that people need to learn about you and stuff like that.
Thank you.
And keep it up, man. Seriously, like I really like our conversations here.
Yeah, it's really fun having conversations with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of interesting people to meet here.
Exactly.
And you're one of those interesting people I meet
Thank
here.
you.
And there's a lot of people here at MCC. So, again, thank you. This is Alex, Ryan right here. This is MCC Let's Talk. Hopefully you didn't cuss that much here. I didn't cuss, so hopefully.
I think the worst word I said was crap.
Yeah. But did I say anything?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Hopefully, yeah. So I apologize for the last video if you listened to it and podcast. So, again, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. All right.